and welcome to another video. So this week I am using these sticker kit pieces. I didn't buy the full kit, but these elements of a sticker kit that I bought from Creating & Co. for their New Year New Books readathon. This readathon technically happened at the end of December, the very last week of December, but I never got the stickers. They were just lost in the mail for over a month. And then I finally got them, and so I figured, why not slap them on this week, because I needed to use them sometime, and we're still in January. You know, it's still early enough in the year that one can make a spread celebrating the new year, and it's not too out of place. So I decided to use this kit for this week, and I did not buy the full kit. So Creating & Co. offers several different kinds of sticker kits. I got the anti-kit bullet journal sheet thing, which has some washi strips and a couple of full boxes that aren't really rectangular. They have this like rough edge to look like paint sketch kind of thing going on. You can see them there. And then it also comes with days of the week. So I'm starting by just replacing the days that are printed in the planner with these stickers. I liked these because they added more of the kit colors into my spread, and they happened to fit perfectly. Like, I was a little worried, especially for Wednesday, that they might be a little too big, but they fit perfectly. They changed things up a bit, and I really liked how that looked. In addition to this one-page kit, I also got a sheet that has a lot of freeform paint splatters in the kit colors. I bought that to supplement this first page, and then I bought the readathon add-on, which I'm not going to use at all, and it's such a shame because it has the readathon prompts, and the readathon has passed, so I don't need those prompts at all anymore. In the same kind of realm, I also got a sheet of Pages Read stickers. I am going to use many of those this week just because I both want to get into the practice of tracking my pages read per day, and also because I had them. So I bought them so that I could track my progress during the readathon week, and then I didn't have them for the readathon week, so I didn't use them, and it is what it is. I'm not going to use many of the stickers that I bought because they are themed around an event that has passed. But this kit right here was fitting, and it worked out fine for this week. And I just kind of forgot to plan like a lot of stuff. I didn't even mark that the inauguration was on Wednesday because I don't know what I was doing when I was planning this week out, but I forgot many things and miswrote things, and it was kind of a mess, which is also part of why this is a voiceover video and not a talk-through video. But this is the week of the 18th through the 24th, and this is the last week for the 3-week mini grading period that I've been working in these past few weeks, where I've mostly been planning and doing research, and this is the last week of that because then students come back to start the regular semester courses again in the following week. As a side note, I apologize if there's any weird background noise. I'm doing my voiceover from a slightly different spot this week, and I don't know, I feel like there might be more carryover noise. We shall see how this goes. This is super experimental. Okay, so the background noise was actually bothering me, so I moved, and it might still happen. It's kind of loud. My boyfriend is chopping vegetables in the kitchen, and the sound of the knife hitting the cutting board is like, I don't know, it just carries through every single wall. So I apologize if you can hear that. But for this week, I kind of started by laying down the decorative boxes because I wanted to kind of build the spread around some central pieces. So the first was the decorative box that says New Year, New Books. And then the second was the decorative box that has this like reading nook kind of window thing that you can see through with like a bookshelf and a chair and some tables or something. So there was that, and then I added the washi strips to the top and to the bottom, and the to-do sticker over on my sidebar. And this spread, especially with these stickers, because I've never used this style of sticker before, this spread is very much an experiment. It is a lot of me just putting things down where I thought they looked good and then working to fill things in throughout the rest of the week in ways such that the randomly placed stickers actually became functional and useful. So it worked out. The darkest color here, the like navy blue, is actually almost too dark, and I had to use a white gel pen for that, but I didn't realize that in this video, so I did some weird whiteout technique stuff that you'll see here in a second. So do note that color is super dark and kind of hard for me to write on without a white pen, and I never carry my white pen with me, so it was kind of an inconvenience. Other than that, I really liked all the other colors in this kit, especially the mustard yellow and the like dusty pink. Those colors in particular, I was a great big fan of. And the things that had some actual like purpose behind them are the smaller short swatch stickers that have the star pattern on the background, because I did use those to mark YouTube videos. So I put one on Monday for my weekly plan with me. I put one on Wednesday for my review of the novel Companion. I put one on Friday for my December planner flip through, and I believe I put one on Thursday for my December Fairy Loot unboxing. Technically, I don't know if it's right now or later in the video. I put one on Sunday for a Power Sheets review video. I'm not going to do that video. I think I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. I know a couple of people have requested to see what I did do in the Power Sheets, but I'm not excited about that video, like, at all. I don't want to do it. I didn't use the Power Sheets for very often. I only really used them the first like 3 or 4 months of the year, and while there were elements that I liked about them, in general I found that they were too big. Like, the book itself was too big for me to want to touch it and use it and put it on my desk, and they were also too much. Like, they had too many moving pieces, and I especially didn't like having to pick weekly and daily tasks, because honestly my goals aren't really habit building. Like, there aren't things that I'm super into making sure I do every single day, and I don't often track daily habits. I used to, and I've tried it a lot, but I don't actually like doing it because it just feels unrealistic for me. Like, even if I do something most days, I'm never going to do something perfectly every single day, and so it just feels like I'm setting myself up for failure to say, oh, I want to do this every single day, and know that I'm not. Like, I could accept the fact that those habit trackers won't all be filled in or something like that, but I can't. Like, I can't let go of it. I don't like them not being filled in, and so then I just don't create them, because I know I'll probably do this most days, but if I don't do it every day, it's not that big a deal. And there's not really anything that I've got going on right now that it's super important for me to track that I'm doing it every single day. And so the Power Sheets way of tracking just didn't really work for me, because, like, if it is something that's important enough that I really want to do it every single day, I already do it. Like, I do it without thinking about it, because that's just how I am. Like, I have routines in place, my morning and evening routines in particular, that are already really solid, and that's just because I'm a person that thrives on routines. Like, when I'm away from home and my routines are disrupted, ugh, I hate it. I hate traveling because of that. So, daily trackers and like habit tracker kinds of stuff, I just hate them. So that's a really, really, like, the biggest reason the Power Sheets didn't work for me. But yeah, so that's a short summary of what might have been a longer video, but that I've just kind of hidden here in the middle of this as an aside tangent rant. But if you have specific questions about the Power Sheets from last year, I'm happy to answer them if you leave a comment down below, but I've dropped the idea of doing a full video. I just, like, don't care about the Power Sheets enough to put a whole video together for them. So while I was talking, I did some more like randomly placed stickers. The big stickers that I have here, the yellow, gray, navy blue, and pink, very randomly placed. There's nothing in particular. I put them down 4. I just put them there because I thought they might look good there. And then I'm using these little decorative pieces to line the bottom of the page. Again, there was nowhere else that I wanted to put them, so I just tried them down there as an experiment. And I like it. I like how they looked. I didn't want to not use them because they brought in more theme pieces. Like without them, the only thing that's really themed towards this 1920s kind of era that this kit had going on for it is just the 2 decorative boxes, and then otherwise it's a color scheme on a page. And I definitely wanted more than just these 4 colors, so I added the decorative pieces at the bottom, but that way you could pull in some more of the 1920s deco without actually taking up too much of my planning space, really, is what I was trying to do here. So I put them down there at the bottom. And then, I don't know what else I did. Here on Wednesday, you can see what I meant earlier about using that whiteout on top of the dark sticker to make my writing more visible. I hate how it looks. I hate it so much. I should have used my white jelly roll. I didn't think about it while I was planning. And then later in the week, I found my white jelly roll and I was like, why am I not using this? And it looks just 1,000 times better on these stickers than that whiteout. So many times. Like, it's not like I don't own a white gel pen. I have one. I just did not think to use it. So note that works very well on these stickers. That's for sure. The Creating & Co stickers are matte and they're very nice. Like, I like Creating & Co's stickers. I just have really been focusing on using the stickers that I have and trying not to like buy too many. You know, my last big sticker purchase was in November or October when I bought several Happy Planner books at once because Joann's was having a sale, and that was it. I think since then I bought 1 or 2 other books when they were on sale, but that's about it. And now I'm trying to focus on just using those and waiting for large sales, particularly with the Happy Planner sticker books, just because right now for me those are the most economical, right? You get a lot of stickers super cheaply, and so that's kind of why I lean into, or have been leaning into, collecting the Happy Planner sticker books, just because you get a lot of bang for your buck and you have a lot to work with all the time. But when I do feel like splurging, Creating & Co is probably the shop I go to most often when it comes to shops that print and send you the stickers, right? I also will occasionally try a printable shop, but if I'm going to pay the little extra for a shop to print and cut and mail me the stickers, Creating & Co is the one that I go to because I love how many bookish elements are worked into so many of their designs. So they're one of my favorites, and this kit was a splurge, which is another reason why I had to use it even if the event passed. Like, even if it didn't match anything I was doing this week, I was using this sticker kit because, oh my gosh, I had waited weeks for it, so I was using it. Alright, so then I'm just adding more. Like, I focused a lot on layering washi tape because I wanted to use as many pieces as possible, and I had a ton of little paint swatches and a ton of little washi strips, so I just kind of layered them and stacked them and placed them in very random places, like no rhyme or reason, just where things looked like they might look good. Over on the sidebar, I'm using these checklist boxes to put the top 4 things going on this week, or the top 4 most important things I wanted to stand out. And my sidebar is usually where I put 1 or 2 tasks that are important enough that I don't want to forget about them, but are honestly probably what I've been procrastinating on, because if it's something that I need to get done this week, I usually assign it a day on the weekly spread, and if it gets put onto the sidebar, it is low tier. It is not an important task, or not an urgent one, or one that I've really been able to push myself to do, and so I just kind of hide it in the sidebar. So this week that task was to buy oil because my car, I don't know, it's losing oil faster than it should in between oil changes. I think that the last time my boyfriend's dad looked at it, he thinks that it is burning oil, which, it's not supposed to do, and someday maybe I'll invest and get someone to fix it. But until then, I just need to make sure that I have extra oil because between oil changes, my car will need to be topped off fairly regularly so the oil doesn't get too low, basically. And it's been pretty stable. Like, I don't do a ton of driving, and so it's held out all right across the long term. Just I have noticed that it drops faster than it should. So I finally did that this week. I've been meaning to buy oil for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm just lucky that the oil level has been stable because I kept putting that task off. But now I have it. I went to Sam's, I bought like 5 quarts of oil, and now I won't get stranded in the parking lot or on the side of the road. And that's always nice. Then also on my sidebar, I like to put the books that I'm reading in a particular week. So my books for this week were primarily The Path of Daggers and A Court of Wings and Ruin. If you also follow me on Instagram, then you might have seen that I hated A Court of Wings and Ruin. Comment down below if you want to talk more about it because I could talk about it all day. Basically, that was one of the most disappointing conclusions I've ever seen in a book. I didn't like it. It's not even the stuff that happened. It was just kind of how it happened. And it's not really where the characters ended up, except for maybe a couple of them. It was the way the war was written. Like, it's not a spoiler to say that in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, much of the time is spent working on a war, this conflict, and at the end, when you really start to see what that conflict ends up looking like, I was so disappointed. So I didn't like it. It was disappointing. I was really bummed about it, and that happened this week. Other things that I marked are 2 birthdays that happened on Monday. I marked them so that I would remember to wish them happy birthday, and then I didn't because I don't know. I'm just really bad at saying happy birthday to people if I don't see them. Like sending a text or an email. These were colleagues, so I would have sent them emails. If I don't see them in the hallway, it slips my mind, even if it's written here. Like I wrote there, send them an email, and then all that day I was like, I don't want to open my email because I was also off that day. Monday was Martin Luther King Day, so we didn't have school. I didn't have work. So I was avoiding my email like the plague. So I didn't actually send that email out, but I wrote it there. I thought of them that day. I just didn't tell them I was thinking of them that day. Then I marked over on Sunday 2 bills that I should have marked on Saturday. I just mislabeled them because I thought that the pink sticker was a really nice place to put those bills. It just so happened that it was on the wrong date. So I did have to fix that later, which is like a little note. I marked that there was a virtual fair on Friday for students to share projects they've been working on these last 3 weeks, and I wanted to keep note of that. And then over here, I am starting to add checklists. I love this checklist, and so it adds just a little oomph of extra functionality without a ton of extra clutter. Like, it's not super decorative. If I don't use a colored pen, it doesn't add a lot of color. It's just very nice. I love this stencil, and I'm going to add some checklist boxes. Let's see. I think the biggest thing that happened this week was the fact that I finished the main trilogy in A Court of Thorns and Roses and was sad about it the last half of the week. Yep. That's basically all that happened. I am reading the novella A Court of Frost and Starlight. It's fine. It's fine so far, but yeah, I don't know. I'm also still going to read A Court of Silver Flames. Like, I loved the first 2 books, A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. I loved them. They were 5-star reads. I thought they were so fun. It was just this 3rd book. So, I'm still going to read all the Sarah J. Maas books I plan to read. I'm excited to get through the Throne of Glass series. I'm going to continue this like ACOTAR spin-off, etc. I haven't given up hope that there will be a conclusion that I enjoy, written by this author. So, still gonna see how that plays out in some of her other series. Let's see. So then also this week, I started to figure out how to continue to fix my car. Basically, I think it was in the last video, I said that my check engine light came on, and one of two or maybe both things need to get swapped. I need new spark plugs and new ignition coils, especially for one of the cylinders. It's the one that's misfiring and giving me the check engine light. And I don't know which is which, but I do know that ignition coils are expensive and spark plugs are cheap, and I think I can fix them myself. So step one this week was get the spark plugs in. I tried calling a mechanic to see what it would cost for them to just put them in, given that I had the spark plugs, but the first person I called wanted too much, and then I canceled on them, and then I haven't called around more because I really feel like I can figure it out. So my boyfriend and I went to AutoZone. We got this weird spark plug wrenchy thing, and hopefully sometime this weekend we will really get out there and see if we can change at least a couple of the spark plugs just to see if it helps anything, or if we're going to have to shell out more money for like ignition coils and stuff. So I don't know. I'm just playing around with it. My dad doesn't seem to think it's this like super urgent, if I don't fix it right this second my car will explode kind of thing. So I have a little bit of time to play around and try to do it myself, and if not, call someone. On Wednesday, I wrote down a schedule for when I have supervision duty, because since I wasn't teaching this week, I got put on a schedule to supervise students during all of their breaks and over lunch to make sure that they are maintaining COVID procedures, that they are social distancing, wearing their masks when they should, etc., etc. And that's just to, keep everyone safe and keep us in school as long as possible, so that hopefully we don't have to go back to doing remote again. Like with the vaccine coming out and with people kind of getting used to the COVID procedures, I'm hoping we don't have to go remote again this year. I feel like we can really make it through the end of the school year in person. That's my dream. I hate how many times we've had to change schedules this year. That is the hardest thing ever. It just takes me so long to wrap my head around every new schedule change and how it changes all my lesson plans and shuffles things around and changes the kinds of activities I decide to do, and I hate it. I mean, I said earlier in this video that I thrive on having consistent routines and schedules. So this year, when my school schedule has been flipped like 3 or 4 different times, I hate it. I hate it. So hopefully we can keep this schedule through the end. That's the goal. Unless spring break does what Thanksgiving break did to us last semester. Anyway, so I'm almost done here. I'm almost done filling in these checklists, and this was a fun week. I think that it filled in better than it looks here. When I finished this spread, like just laying it all out, I was not the hugest fan. I didn't like the weird clusters, and the white space was uneven. Like Tuesday is this long column, and it's like, what is this? But it worked out. I put a lot of to-dos there, and it filled in nicely. I like the way this spread looks at the end of the week. So that was fun. I think the last thing I do sticker-wise is add these pages read stickers. And I was pretty consistent. I have surprised myself in how I was able to keep track of my pages read this week. And that is in part because on Monday, I think I discovered a spreadsheet template. I forget who did it. I'll try to link their channel down below if I remember. But basically, I found another booktuber who shared their reading tracking spreadsheet, and I made a copy and I edited it a little bit, and I've been using it to keep track of stats. And it lets you go in really detailed statistics about like pages read and genres and authors and things like that. And it's really cool, and it has this habit tracker section where you can color code your like a monthly calendar based on whether you read a physical book or an ebook or an audiobook, and how many pages you read. So in order to use that habit tracker spreadsheet thing, I've been really on top of making sure that I keep track of my pages read. It worked out well. 7 of those pages read stickers fit perfectly in what was left of my sidebar, and I liked it. It was fun. I've kept up with it this week, and hopefully I will be able to continue to find the space to do that next week, because I like knowing how many pages I've read. I just find it very interesting. And I averaged this week like maybe 30 pages a day, but that's because I had 2 days of 28, a couple of days with like 40 pages, and then one day I read a lot and I read 163. So that was some interesting stuff, and now I'm going to put my pages back into my planner and we will wrap up this video. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!